This is just a continuation of the number 40 on my channel. Another stream slash video if you're watching this later. And we are just trying to get the BIOS updated to see if that's going to fix the computer. If you have anything helpful to say, please leave it in the comments. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're in the BIOS manual now. Copyright 2020. Knowing BIOS. This is just a copy of what we were reading in the manual, I think. At least this part of it is. When downloading or updating the BIOS file for your motherboard, rename it as XXX-cap. The name of the cap file varies depending on models. Refer to the user manual that came with your motherboard for the name. I didn't actually get a manual that came with this motherboard. I bought the motherboard used. So, like, I'm hoping, like, is this exact manual? I want to see, like, where on my other motherboard is the exact manual? Where on my motherboard is the exact model number so that I make sure that I have the exact manual. Maybe this is being too much. Maybe we'll keep reading, but I'm going to type that real quick. Where on the motherboard does it say the exact model number? That's a silly question. Hi, Obtanium. What's going on? Often near the CPU socket or between the expansion slots. I'm going to give this a real quick scan. I don't really want to be doing this. I have the mother next to me here. Between the expansion slots. And it's hard to see the CPU because I have a heatsink on top. A big old heatsink with a cooler. With cooling fans, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Plus Wi-Fi 2. Oh, it does say this here. Yeah, it does have some information. I don't really want to dig into that right now, though. I don't know if I need to, so it's cool I know where it is. I can go back to it if my thoughts bring me there. Nothing, how are you? I'm great. I'm great. I would like to get this build done. This is my first build, and it's a learning curve. I encourage anyone else to talk in chat. All right, where were we? We were reading this. Too many tabs open here. I gotta close stuff. Yeah, so it says rename it as, there's 5 X's and then .cap. It is a .cap file. So it says it should say this in this manual. So I'm just going to Control F .cap. Yeah, okay, so for BIOS flashback, it says manually rename the file as, it's got a bunch of characters here and then .cap. Or launch the BIOS renamer.exe application to automatically rename the file. Then copy it to your USB device. I don't think that's going to work. because this is Linux. I think .exe is for Windows only. I'll type that. I'm gonna check to see if that'll work, and then maybe just run it if it might. You zip together in your BIOS file. Yeah. Copy it to your USB storage device. Huh. Do .exe files work on Linux? Even if it works on Linux, it might not work on Nix. It's funny that I asked if it works on Linux, and the LLM's like, yes, files are specific to Windows operating system and not natively supported by Linux. Oh, however, there's ways to run .exe files on Linux. The common method is to use wine. This is stuff I do not have experience with yet. I mean, it's pretty easy to manually rename a file. I don't know, like, it's very odd to me that there's like this. I kind of want to just run it and see what happens. This is already on the, is this already on the flash drive? No, it's not. I'm just going to run the renamer. No, it's asking for an application, and I don't have wine. I could probably get wine. Let's just see. Do I want to get wine? Wine on, Nix package manager. Now Nix package search. Let's go to the browser version. I would bet that wine is on here. Wine wow packages, bridge. Open implementation of XFGL and Unix. All right, yeah. This, I mean, this probably might be one of these works. I think we're going to do that though. I think we are going to BIOS update. I think we're just going to literally right click on it and rename it to the thing. Because why not? The wording on this stuff is so confusing. By the way, it's all obnoxious that, like, where was that thing? To download, if you look at my last stream, like, it didn't have a link. It just had a QR code. Maybe because the link changes. I don't know. That's kind of annoying. I wish it would just say, we don't have, because the link is we changed the link. Just have a little note there, Asus, please. All right, so I'm just copying this. Won't let me copy it. That's interesting. I guess because I'm on a PDF opened on a... Okay, I'm not copying it. I'm just going to type it out. Okay, so instead of this thing, I'm renaming this file. TG 550 PW2.cap. Maybe that'll work. Shut down your computer, press the BIOS flashback button for 3 seconds until the BIOS flashback LED blinks 3 times, indicating the BIOS flashback is enabled. Wait until the light goes out, indicating the BIOS update process is complete. I'm kind of confused now, but because it doesn't say anything about like plugging the flash drive into the computer, so we're just going to go back to the BIOS directions. How many pages are the BIOS directions? We're on page 4. 52 pages of BIOS directions. Okay. Rather more than less. We are on page 4 currently. All right, so page 5. BIOS setup program. Use the BIOS setup to update the BIOS or configure parameters. The BIOS screens. I think I might read this stuff quietly. Unless someone comes here and is like, read out loud. But Yeah, just reading a thing doesn't feel. Y'all can get this same documentation, read it if you want. To enter the at startup. This is what we're having trouble doing. We couldn't enter BIOS on startup. And this says entering BIOS setup after post. So this doesn't apply to us because we're just trying to get to post. I'm gonna start deleting tabs when we go back to instructions. We may need some new instructions. I think we're just gonna be putting it on the drive, right? Like this is just supposed to be copied to a drive, the cat file, I think, and put on. But I don't know if it needs to rename her. I don't know. I don't know if it needs to get flashed to it or something in some special way, because we have to reformat the drive. So just gonna take a step back since Brian's turning to mush right now. Deleting tabs always helps do that. Old tabs, not necessary. We already have this. We can. Oh, this matches. Okay. It says here on the website, you name this using BIOS renamer. Like, does that change it? Like, why does it? Can't you just like change the name of the file? It's so funny. That seems like a good thing to ask. We're gonna ask that. um, can I rename the file anyway, or do I have to use BIOS renamer? Is that? We'll use the appropriate capitals. Is it BIOS? BIOS is capitalized, and then the R is capitalized. It's so silly. I feel so ridiculous. Yes, you can rename a BIOS file yourself but it depends on the method you're using to flash the BIOS. If you're using USB BIOS flashback feature, it is recommended to use BIOS renamer to ensure the file is named correctly, as this guarantees the file is accurate and avoids potential issues. However, if you're using the Easy Flash utility with the BIOS menu, you do not need to rename the file. So the question that I'm asking myself is like, downloading Wine might actually be really easy, but it's just like it introduces potentially new complexity and new variable. So I don't actually think it's a good idea to do. I think it's good for me to just type the darn thing in correctly, which, it's 7 characters. It's kind of like the only reason you don't type it in correctly is you're going fast or something. You're confident in renaming the file yourself. What are the, like, I don't know. I guess it's just funny. People building gaming PCs faster over. This ensures compatibility. So I guess there's an extra thing. This is one of those times where I'm not a fan of using Nix. I say that, but I don't. It's not like I'm like. I may be wrong. Maybe Nix is, Users of successor. All right. Renaming using Windows Explorer. Simplify the process and present typos. All right, whatever. I guess we're going to risk it. All right, what's this tab? Copy the renamed BIOS file to the root of USB flash drive. How to copy the rename BIOS. Yeah. To the root of the US? What does that mean, to the root? How to copy a BIOS file to the root of a flash drive. All right, yeah, I already formatted it. Next, extract the downloaded BIOS file, which typically has a .rom extension, and copy it directly to the root directory of USB flash drive. Ensure the place in any folders. It should be accessible immediately when you open the USB drive. To the root of the drive. So, okay. I think the root of a drive, this is just terminology stuff. I think the drive is just, it's just directly onto the drive and not in any other folders or directories, if you will. Folders and directories mean the same thing as far as I know. Flash drive feature. I'm going to confirm that. What is the root of a flash drive? Being thorough here, I guess. Top level directory of the drive, which is the starting point of files and folders on the device. Cool. Something that probably only normally takes, you probably, like someone who knows what they're doing can probably do this. Like, all right, so here we're in the drive. You can probably do this in less than a minute. I'm copying the file. Okay. Just taking a second, I guess. All right, it looks like it's copied. They might be able to do this in 30 seconds or less or something. But we do it over the course of an hour stream because we don't know what we're doing, or 2 hours, however long this is going to take me. All right, cool. I wonder if this is even the root now. I'm like, I guess, all right, so I'm going here. I'm opening a terminal in the flash drive. Interesting. What's happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is in the root. It's like, it seems like the top level directory to me, but I don't know. It's those mounting shenaniganery. When you don't know anything, it's hard to know anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I just ran pwd, that's print working directory, and it just tells you where you are in your system. Yeah. How to tell if I'm in the root of my flash drive. Command to move a file to the root of a flash drive. So annoying. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm in the right place according to this. The thing that it's Quora, I guess, .com is the source for the LLM. How to tell if I'm in the boot root of my flash drive is what I searched. And it basically just told me I am on Linux. Yeah. Just another source checking real quick. Okay. Close that. Where were we? close this. I'm going to save this to my desktop. The BIOS instructions. Close, computer won't post. That might be useful. Don't need that anymore. What is BIOS renaming? Ridiculous. Is .cat file normal for BIOS update? Yeah, it is, apparently. That's old, too. This is how to format at 32. How to flash USB, how to flash BIOS of Asus stuff game or motherboard to thumb drive? How to flash, okay. Though we may need new instructions, but we may not. Connect the power supply, copy the renamed BIOS file to the root of the USB flash drive. Connect the power supply to the motherboard and ensure the power supply is off before making the connections. The USB flash drive into the USB port labeled BIOS on the motherboard's I/O shield. Yeah, right. So it's supposed to go in a specific USB port. I gotta figure out what an I/O shield is now. Put that there. Put that there. What is a motherboard's? No, just motherboard I/O shield. Well, I don't have the I/O shield on because the motherboard is not in the computer. The I/O shield is the back plate, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what we're doing here. We're building a computer for the first time, team. We don't know what we're doing. I'm gonna look at the I/O shield real quick. Well, it does look like one of these says BIOS. So, I wonder if I can just fit it on real quick. I'm just gonna touch some metal and I'm just putting this thing right here. I'm just putting this on because, let's see. Where's it say BIOS? So this thing goes over all the ports. Be in focus. Can you be in focus? This is so annoying. All right, it's not in focus. Sorry about that. But this one with the rectangular paint thing around it, this says BIOS. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure this fits on the motherboard, and then I'm seeing which one the BIOS thing goes over, and that is the one that I'm supposed to plug it into. It is not super straightforward to do because the motherboard is not something to clear. The motherboard is not perfectly on this. I have to hang my motherboard slightly over the edge of what it's laying on, which I don't like. But it's because I'm neurotic or something, you know? All right, so that goes. Which one says BIOS? I need a light. Where's my light? All these pins seem like they're in the way to me. I don't understand. Like, oh, maybe it's because it's used. But like some of these pins, like these things, there's like these little things here, and they're bent every which way. And I don't really know how they're supposed to be bent, but I imagine that is something that I'm going to have to fiddle with. Okay, it looks like I found the one that says BIOS. I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. I hope I didn't just do anything. Shouldn't have. The power's off. But there is a button there that I'm pressing by accident. That is the BIOS flashback button, according to this label. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, that one's the BIOS, right? There's 4. It's the second one down. Okay, so I'm going to eject the drive and put it to the second one down, I think. I think we're just going to end it, team. All right, so I have to eject this drive. Yeah, we'll eject that. Oh, drive! I'm just taking the tape off of it. The drive is labeled. I'm just removing the label since it no longer is the correct label. Oh, man. Okay. Just plug in the drive in. Seems like it's plugged in. Connect the power supply to the motherboard and show the power supply is turned off before making the connections. Hold down the flashback button for 3 seconds. I don't know if I have to boot up the computer in order to do this BIOS flashback business. I'm tempted to stop the stream and take a little break. But we may just keep going. Hold down the flashback button for 3 seconds. Because I think I just give it power and then I hold it down. It's important to note that the USB flash drive must be formatted to FAT32 and the BIOS file must be renamed for the process to work. Additionally, the process can be complex and risky if not done correctly. There's a small chance of breaking the motherboard if something goes wrong. Ugh! I think I'm gonna have to make a short and ask people because, yeah, I just don't feel like risking breaking the motherboard. Man, I looked to the third or fourth or 10th build or something. This first build is like everything's slow. I'm not trying to brick anything. May have already bricked something, you know. Brick is funny terminology. So I'm gonna kill this stream, and maybe we'll flash in the next one. We'll see. But I'm gonna make a short and just ask what people think. I think that's my plan anyway.